JHK here for Fight Night Picks, and joining me right now is PFL Featherweight contender Tyler Diamond. Tyler, how you doing today, man? How is the Cali life treating you?
Oh, Cali lights always treat me great because I'm in Northern California, so that's a hidden gem up there. But yeah, everything's going good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Southern California, not your spot? Not a fan?
Not a fan, not my spot. Too many people, too deserty, and it's just a different culture down there, man. Northern California, it's kind of in some areas I'd say it's like the good old days still. You know, people open doors for each other, are pleasant, and it's a really good place.
Yeah, I've been to California many times, and it feels like two different states, to be honest with you.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Yeah, if people know, they know.
Yeah, exactly. If you know, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's talk about it, man. You returned after a long layoff earlier this year at the first PFL show. You defeated Sungbin Joe. Great performance. When you look back at that performance and with all the circumstances surrounding it, what is your overall assessment of how you got the job done?
I'd give myself a 9.5 out of 10. And the only reason why I take that half off is because I kind of got lazy in the third round, and he caught me with a beautiful cross. And I'm just stupid. I knew he was going to do that, but like I almost didn't respect it. But anyway, other than getting clipped one time, I think I fought a great fight. And the thing I was happiest about is I felt like my fight IQ was on point. I was free flowing. I wasn't trying to force anything. And that's something I really worked on between the long layoff, was just being smarter in there and being able to adapt. So I'm proud of the result and how everything worked out.
Was that something that in the past, in a fight where, making quick decisions, was that something that you felt like you made mistakes in?
Only one fight, and that was the one. It's actually a fight that's not on my record. It was when I lost to Jay Cuccinello on the Ultimate Fighter. If anyone watches that, like, Jay fought an incredible fight, but I also beat myself. I went out there and I tried killing him the whole time. And part of the reason also was to that point I had never gotten super tired in the fight. I didn't think it was possible for me to get tired, but I wore myself out. And I realized, like, hey, you can't force the finish. You just got to find the finish when it's there. And I just made a lot of really dumb fight IQ mistakes. So from then till now, I've improved leaps and bounds.
And also the PFL format, man, it's about winning. It's not about, it's not about nothing else. It's about you get in there, you have to win. That's it, man. And I think that that's an advantage for a lot of fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, some people get caught up on like, oh, I need a finish, or I need this many points or that. Like, for me, I'm just gonna fight and I'm gonna win, and I'll let the chips fall where they may. And if I'm meant to, get a first round finish and make the playoffs, like, whatever, cool. But like, I think if I win this next fight, like, I'm guaranteed a playoff spot. At least I hope. I mean, in the past, they took the top 8. This year, it's top 4, so it's a little different. So the pressure's on a little bit in that sense, but I'm not gonna be thinking about, oh, this person beat this person, like, so I need to do this. Like, no, I'm just going out there for one thing and one thing only, and that's to beat Brendan Loughnane on June 10th.
No doubt, man. And you don't have to fight 2 times in one night. It's kind of a relief, right?
Yeah, it might be in a sense, but man, in the same regard, I was really looking forward to that. Like, I think that favors a guy like me. But no doubt, for one night, you totally have to sack up. Like, there's no joking around about that. That's tough to do.
Yeah, definitely, man. But it is something I believe a lot of fighters, when they watch the old school, events, and they see the guys that fought twice in one night, 3 times in one night, they want to experience that, right?
Yeah, I'd like to experience it once or twice, and I thought it was me this year, but then PFL switched it up on us. But it's fine. One less fight to make it to the finals, I guess, is how you got to look at it.
Well, I was talking to Ray Sefo, and he's saying, yeah, man, next year it'll be back, so don't worry about it too much.
Awesome. That's good to hear, because I haven't heard anything, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. The same night you got your win, a couple other featherweights, had some good performances. You had Movid, Chris Wade, Bubba Jenkins, and, your upcoming opponent all picked up victories. Anything surprising about how those fights played out?
Not entirely. Maybe Bubba beating Lamps to me was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't I still haven't watched any of those fights, to be honest. I kind of watched Lance and Bubba's afterward. I had it on my phone, but I was like busy. I like had people calling me and stuff, so it was kind of in and out. But yeah, that fight surprised me a little bit. I thought that Lance would pick up the win there, but he just kind of didn't perform. But other than that, I guess no surprises. I think things kind of went as expected, to be honest.
You mentioned Lance. He's a returning champion. Also, Natan Schultz, a
Yeah,
returning champion. They both lost.
yeah,
What does that say about the 2021 roster and the new additions to the promotion?
yeah. I think it says that. I think it's a testament to what PFL is doing. They're trying to bring in more talent and make these weight classes as tough as possible. And I certainly think they've done that this year. Like if you look at featherweight, at least until all these dropouts, man, I think you look at everyone and no one's an easy fight. So yeah, I think PFL is doing a good job picking up tough guys like me who have kind of flown under the radar in a sense, who I didn't really feel like I got a fair shake from the UFC. So I'm happy to be with PFL right where I'm at, making the big bucks, hopefully.
Yeah, man, it all works out at the end, man. Especially with
Yes,
that
it
$1
does.
million and a family and everything going on right now for you.
Absolutely.
It's very quick turnaround. After, like I said earlier, a long layoff. So when did you jump back into camp?
I took a week off, which I pretty much do no matter what. Like, I'm already in shape. I wasn't going to lose any of my gas tank taking a week off, and I didn't eat crappy. I still ate really great. So I got back to training after a week, and I think I stepped on the scale a week later, and I was only like 7 pounds over my weight class. So I was like, holy crap, I actually need to put on some weight. Um, so yeah, I've just kept it rolling, man, and I feel great physically. I feel great mentally, and I'm in a good spot right now.
What kind of adjustments have you made, to better acclimate yourself to fighting so often and, the other things that come with it?
Yeah, just really trying to focus more on taking care of myself. Like after I get done training, maybe taking the extra 10 to 15 minutes to stretch out. Whether that really helps or not, I'm not sure, but any little thing I can do to help me out. Being more focused on getting the right amount of sleep I need to get, and then man, my diet has been the best it's ever been. Like I literally haven't hardly cheated at all, and so it's just the little things. And I think if you add up all the little things together, uh, it's a big sum, and it really helps out.
Do you think stretching is like the most neglected part of anybody's routine in fighting?
Yes, yes, I definitely do. I see it all the time. I mean, my whole team, we train, and then we get done and we walk off the mats. And but luckily for me, I'm like already a really naturally flexible and loose guy. So um, I don't feel like I get super tight real easy. So I've kind of got an advantage there. But still, even though I've still been trying to focus on that because yeah, it's an often neglected thing by most fighters, like you mentioned.
I've talked to a lot of guys that have visited or done camp at Team Alpha Male. It seems like you guys are attracting way more people than in the past. A lot of the Chinese fighters are going over there to, do camp
Yeah,
and train. And man, what has it been like for you, a guy that has been a staple of that camp?
man, it's been great. I love having all the new guys come in and the visitors we have. Like, you know what it is, man, is people come out and they visit. They do the Train with Tam program, and they have such a great experience that they end up just staying there or finding a way to come back and move there. And, I think that's really a testament to our program. Um, I've said it numerous times. If any fighter came out and trained with us, they would realize that we're a few notches above most camps in a lot of regards. I think like we just do a lot of things the right way, and we have a lot of great coaches that collaborate together, and the techniques on point, and it's hard to not be successful if you're showing up to all the practices there. That's for sure.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the coaching staff, you guys have a long history, right? From the WEC days to now. It's
Yeah.
been so many years of like championship fights, just credentials of the coaches. It's incredible. I think that's also another attraction. And then you guys have been known for like flyweights, bantamweights, featherweights, but now I see like
Totally.
lightweights are out there, a lot of lightweights, welterweights even. You got
Yeah.
some middleweights too, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest change in the team the last 2 to 3 years is we're actually attracting other weight classes now. Like you said, when I first got there in 2009, off and on, and then full time in 2014, it was pretty much flyweights, bantamweights, featherweights, and a couple lightweights. But man, now we have a full team from top to bottom. Like we have killers in every single weight class. It's pretty cool to see.
June 10th, man, they're putting you against Brendan Loughnane. You know, when you found out that he was going to be your next opponent, what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were like, well, cool, right on. I really didn't give a crap who they gave it to me, honestly. I mean, how I figure I'm going to fight probably most of these guys at some point. I mean, especially if you think about it, I'm going to fight. I just fought. I'm going to fight again. And then if I fight in August and October, that I just fought half the roster right there, you know? So I'm going to fight them all at some point. It doesn't matter. I didn't care who they matched me up against. I found out and I said, cool. And I went and did what I had to do that day.
When you break this fight down skill for skill, where do you see the separation?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that I do certain things on the feet better than he does, and I think he does certain things better than I do. He's got a totally different body style than I do. I think I'm probably better on the ground, but I haven't really seen much on him. It's really hard to say, and I try not to get caught up in that because if you watch too much tape, you get kind of a false perception of someone. You really don't know how things are until you get in there with them. You don't know how fast they are, how strong. So I have a general idea, but man, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to try and find out as much as I can as early as I can and just assess from there. And that's where that fight IQ comes from that I was talking about earlier is being able to get in there and make reads really quickly. And that's something I worked on, and that's something I'm looking forward to this fight is making my reads early and going from there.
Yeah, I saw a previous interview when you were talking about the fight against Joe. You anticipated that he would be a certain way, but when you got in there, he did certain things differently, and you were kind of shocked about it. But you adjusted, like you said, the fight IQ came in, and
Totally.
most likely it's going to be a big factor in this fight. I saw that on IG you wrote that this fight coming up is going to be your greatest performance. What does that look like in your mind?
Man, it looks like that could be either way. That can be going out there, clipping them on the feet and TKOing them pretty quick, or it could be a lot like my last fight, other than getting rocked. I mean, you take away me getting rocked in my last fight, and that was somewhat of a flawless performance. I could see it being a lot like that as well. A lot of people probably didn't think I was going to outstrike Joe, and I did. And there's no reason why I can't outstrike Loughnane either. I think a lot of people, he's like one of those flashy, pretty strikers, and I'm not like one of those pretty strikers. I'm kind of more in your face, like throw hard bombs. But I'll tell you what, man, I surprise a lot of people. I can box with some of the best and kickbox with some of the best and hang in there. So I think I can surprise people.
No doubt. When you look at a performance, would you rather have a performance where you go in there and, like you said, clip somebody and TKO them, or would you want to maul them for 3 rounds? Because some people prefer certain things over others, right?
Yeah, totally. Me personally, I'd rather get the fight finished just to mitigate damage. I mean, I already had the hard 15-minute one, so let's make this one a short one. That'd be great in a perfect world, right? The less wars I can get into my life, the better. I'll be happier for sure.
Yeah, and the PFL bubble, it's had mixed results. Will you do anything different to prepare yourself for the long stay?
So I'm here currently, and there's a couple different things I did. Like I know what to expect this time. So I got a better eating routine. Before I didn't really know what the heck, and my only option was like Instacart and DoorDash. So I ended up bringing a bunch of food and brought like a little smoothie maker and like a couple little things. So that's made life a lot easier. And then just knowing what to expect this go around, I was able to bring things that I wish I would have had the last time. So yeah, man, everything's solid, going great, and hopefully when we come back here in August, or I don't know if we're going to come back to New Jersey or if we're going to be in Vegas or what, but hopefully we only come like 5 days before because, yeah, last time was 17, this time's 12. So I'm hoping that by August we're kind of back to normal.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, talking about meals, you have your own meal prep company, Diamond Dash Meal Prep. So
Correct.
it must be good to have all that ready
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So I vacuum sealed some meals. I brought those. I still have a few left. And yeah, so that's pretty much holding me over until I really start the bulk of the weight cut here in a few days.
And another thing is when you see certain fighters, when they have children, when they have a kid, their first kid
Mhm.
especially, they become different in the cage. You see them, they're different in the
Yeah.
cage. Have you felt any effects of that? You know, the fatherhood.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't say exactly. I mean, I think that subconsciously what it's done is it's really made me more hyper aware of my actions, like as a person mainly, you know. Um, I just want to be a good person, and you know, he's gonna be looking up to me, and yeah, I want to be a good influence, and I want him to be a really good kid, really polite kid, a kid that, you know, adults look up to, and so I'm looking forward to that in due time, and yeah, so that's the biggest change is that I'm more hyper aware of who I am as a man and who I am as a father and a husband, and I just want to be the best I can be for them and for everyone I come into contact with.
Perfect, man. June 10th, Atlantic City. Tyler, appreciate the time, man. Hopefully I'll be hitting you up again in your next fight and
Heck yeah,
continuing to the end of the year, man. Thank you so much.
that's right. Thank you.